Arsenal versus Manchester United on Sunday. You were at the game, and I just kept telling the producer when Arsenal were losing, cut Ian Wright up, just shows Ian.
It did keep going to you all the time.
Shows Ian Wright.
The thing is, I was on this. I wanted to come and see you and your mate Patrick, and you know, all you lot having a great time in there.
Yeah, great.
But like, it was, you know what? It was one. It was. God, I just felt a bit deflated there because with the way we played in the game and the mistakes we were making in the game. We started to think like, you know what, this is one of those, if we get something, I'll be happy to get something, you know what I mean?
Control, yeah, to even take the
right, because like what we've seemed to have lost recently is the intensity, is the control, but like, then when you saw Man United, he just kept bringing, like the players, he just went again, like even when he brought Cunha, they just went, they kept coming forward, they kept coming at us. And I think that kind of threw us a little bit. And then when they scored the 2-2, then the 3-2, then I started to think, like all the other fans, you just started to feel, you know what, this is my worst night, this is the worst thing I was expecting. And it's happened. But then you listen to Mikel talking to the guys, and I say there was mistakes in the game, but it was sloppy. It was a little bit like, hang on a minute, everybody needs to have a refresher because we're playing poorly. You know what I mean? This is not what got us to where we are.
When did you think in the game, because I thought first 25 minutes you weren't playing poorly.
No, but
I thought it was after you scored.
There was a nervousness.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what, again, this is what you can feel in the stadium. I remember even back to Wolves, when we played Wolves, we beaten Wolves 1-0, Wolves came back, they scored. You could feel it before Wolves scored, something's happened. So what's happened? People were saying about the crowd and this. I said, I'm not really fussed about the crowd. And you know what else I'm annoyed about? People saying, yeah, but let's just stay calm. No. It's like someone telling you to stay calm when you're ready to go.
It's too late then, yeah.
No, we don't. We need to double down on the fact that, like, Mikel's had this conversation with the boys. He said it was a great meeting, what he had with them. He wants to let them off the leash. He wants them to enjoy what they're doing. I hope that works because something has to change. Something has to change with what we're doing because if we carry on playing like that, you can see that teams can see the flood in the water, Roy.
Yeah, when you look back at the Forest game and even the Liverpool game,
yes.
You can have an off day, but it's been 3 or 4 now.
Well, it's been 3 or 4. And the thing with those 2 games, right, Gal, if we win those 2 games, which I think we could have in the game, I remember Declan coming off of the Nottingham Forest and you could see he was raging, he was very angry.
Yeah.
Because you need to get those wins, Gal, and you all know, you guys, you all know. So then if you do have this kind of performance, you can think, okay, let's put that down to, listen, that's just a one-off, we need to regroup because we're in the stage of the season where the test is coming. Like I say, everybody's waiting to play. Right, let's see what Arsenal are about for the next game. So Leeds is going to be a big game for us.
What needs to change, though, do you think, right?
Well, you know, the thing is that what we was doing at the start of the season, the intensity, the getting the ball forward quicker. We don't seem to be able to we're not getting the ball forward as quick as we can.
I still thought the first part of the season, though, was a little bit...
Yeah, but we was getting away with it. But then the thing with
getting away with it, yeah.
We were getting away with it, but I think it was working for us. Obviously, the set pieces have come in and, you know, they have helped us. And the fact that we're not scoring enough goals, when you look at the people who are scoring at the moment, we ain't got too many people scoring. We weren't scoring, that helped as well. But you're not going to be able to continue to depend on that.
Can they change, Righty? Because you're talking about change there in terms of playing the ball forward quicker. But they do recycle it more and they do control games when they recycle it and they sustain attacks and it's really good when you watch them, but then they don't have enough risk takers.
Well, this is what we need.
So I thought, what do you think of the substitutions? Because I thought when United went 2-1 up, I immediately thought Madueke, Martinelli and Eze. Yeah. Just thought the spontaneity, the players who've got a little bit of unpredictability come on. But he actually sort of brought 4 subs on, but he brought Ben White and Mourinho on with Gyökeres and then just one of them.
Can I tell you what really made me feel like, okay, because our left side, you know, especially when Ben White was on and then he changed.
Brought
the left back off, yes.
That's it, he took Nketiah off.
Zubamendi.
Right, but like what I'm saying is...
Odegaard for Eze as well, no?
Yes, but what I'm saying is, the substitution I wanted to see, and I'm not just saying is like a left footer, like a Miles Lewis-Skelly on that side to get that left side working. The thing is, we're talking about someone like Eze. Now, Eze's coming in now we're saying, well, Eze, do your thing, what you do at Palace. Eze needs to be played and just be free to play.
Rhythm, he needs to get a bit of rhythm to his...
So he's talking now, this is what I'm saying.
I don't think he's going to get that.
Yeah, but listening to what the manager's saying about enjoyment and letting people go and express yourself. And
he comes from that Pep school of methodology over what would be being the maverick. Because when I look at Pep's teams and what he did with Grealish, and when I see what Mikel does, you've got to admire how would they put that system into the players. But they do want the methodology and the process of how you play to be followed over the individual
Well, you say what's got to change to a certain extent for him.
Can he change that?
Well, if you've got someone like Eze, right? If you've got someone like Eze who plays with freedom, he has to play where he can, like the goals what Cunha scored and even the goal what Dorgu scored, 2 great goals, but they were in positions where that's where you want to see someone like Eze getting into it because he can do that, right? So he's got to have the freedom to be able to play and wander into these areas and do what he's doing. But at the moment, it does feel a little bit rigid for him. And that's why it feels like people
So you're saying you would leave Ødegaard out and put Eze in?
I wouldn't say, listen, you know what, listen, the thing is that with Ødegaard and the way he was trying to find space, it wasn't happening. But if you're going to leave Ødegaard out and bring Eze in, bring this Eze in, who's not free, doesn't feel free.
But why is he not free?
Because at the moment...
They play with structure, though, don't know that the players aren't going to get that.
Yeah, but
I think Jill's hit the nail on the head. That methodology and structure is set.
Like Grealish didn't benefit.
He's saying... what he's saying in, like, he's got to let them off. He's got to let...
Has Mikel said that in the last 24 hours?
He said that in the meeting.
Yeah. But I think
about enjoyment and
let
him go. Because if he doesn't do something like that...
I'd say Ødegaard could be the problem.
In what respect?
Because Ødegaard's playing as a number 10. And if you're not playing good, it's his job to make your team play good football. Good attacking football. I don't think he does it enough. I think he drops into midfield. Now, look, I like him. Technically, he's brilliant. He's good to watch. But he drops into the midfield. He drops... I play number 10. We number 10. If they come into the midfield area and play where Roy should be, Roy say, fuck off, get up there.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it enough in them areas where it wins games for your team. Well? You think about the teams we've watched win the league. Liverpool, Man City, exciting to watch. Liverpool like that, they're exciting to watch because of people like David Silva, people like Phil Foden, receiving the ball on the edge of the box where it's important.
With a lot of movement.
And it also kills your centre forward as well.
But the
centre forward's got nobody to play with.
The attacking midfielders hold the positions.
Exactly. They're imperative to make your team play good football.
This is why I feel like Eze is the perfect player to go in there and play like that.
So you're leaving Ødegaard out for Eze is what I'm saying, though?
Well, the thing is, but someone's going to have to be left out at some stage, but you can't have somebody like Eze just there not contributing to this when we need that kind of profile.
When Eze came on, though, I thought he did the same thing. He almost played it like a centre midfield player again.
Yeah, because I think that's
at the moment, the way the midfield to the forwards, there's no link.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Scrolls. Something has to change to make him be able to be free. The manager's got to take some shackles off to say, go and do it. You not defend here. You know, Zubimendi, you defend there, drop back in if you have to, Declan, make sure that we defend and stay tight so as these guys can go forward.
So from the weekend, like you're talking about, but they scored 2 goals going forward, Arsenal.
Yeah.
They scored whatever ugly goals, a set piece, I get it, but that's part of the game. The issue was giving up 3 goals.
Yeah, and the mistake.
That's the big issue on the weekend.
But Roy, that's the first time they've done that in like 3 seasons.
Of course,
like,
but it's come. Roy, it's come at a time. Look where it's come. It's coming in just what, with February now. This is where the pressure starts to come. This is where I haven't seen Zubimendi do that to that extent.
First goal together.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't see that. So you're thinking, what can that be? What can that be? And we're getting to exactly right. Exactly. So we're getting to a place now. Like I say, there's blood in. Now we have to start saying, right, something has to change for us to say, right, this is how we're going to go forward with the intensity, with the confidence to beat teams.
But they've responded well before, Riley. This is where the other side of it, you don't panic. Yeah, all this, they need to improve on that. The lads coming off the bench have to kind of bring a bit more, play with a little bit more freedom when they're attacking. But they've had their success from being structured and having a decent squad. Yeah. At Liverpool early in the season, they lost, again, to a set piece of free kick. Afterwards, again, everyone was critical. They have to take the hammer. And they kind of did for a while. They've had this setback not long ago against Aston Villa, last-minute winner. Yep. And they recovered well from that. So for all these issues, that can happen to lots of teams. Don't panic.
Exactly.
Also, it's like a reset going, as we've had a setback, just step back.
I think that
we're in a chance for 4 competitions.
Thank you.
You have to remind them, they're not, obviously not.
And sometimes it's not the manager, you're saying the manager said take the shackles off. The players have got to do it.
Yeah.
But Declan Rice and Zubimendi, he played loads of games. Yeah. Get fucking
but at the stadium, up there, you don't need started well, but where we were sitting, every little straight pass was, the players, we talk about bravery as a footballer. Your bravery, don't worry about the Arsenal fans.
Exactly.
The courage comes from wanting the ball when you don't really want it. And cut out them, like the first goal. These are huge moments. These are huge moments in a match.
As a player, though, do you feel that? Because I always thought when I played, I was just in the game. Like, I don't think you could say the nervousness of the fans would make you nervous.
Part of being a footballer is deal with, obviously, any sport, deal with the pressure.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though, with the not just...
But I think you can't underestimate, unless you're at the stadium. When I was at this Arsenal, there was always a strange feeling before the game. And you know what happens with United? When United come to town, there is something. There is something when United are in town. The fans, obviously, and the Arsenal, and in the warm-up. I was looking at you, look at body language, and Arsenal.
Felt like Gary said, it felt like
there was something in the air. There was something in the air.
Look, maybe sometimes you say, I'm going to say something now that people will say, well, you would say that because you're a United fan. It felt like a real Super Sunday, didn't it, in terms of the, just that sort of. It felt
and we needed that though. Some of the last few games have been really poor that I've watched, just in general.
It felt quite big, didn't it, in terms of like a big game, and it felt like just the way in which it went. I suppose none of us are taking what happened on Sunday and thinking that this is going to be Arsenal. I still think Arsenal win the league. Do we all think the same thing?
Yes.
I'll still go Chelsea.
I don't think a real City out. 4 points now. It's January and Arsenal look a bit. Wait till it gets to March and April.
But then City are still having their days like against United.
Yes,
He's coming.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't think City are right, but I think they've got players coming back as well. And they're always better towards them.
I'm quite confident in the fact that whatever happened in the dressing room afterwards, something's going to change. Something has to change. Otherwise, it will peter out for us. Something has to change, and this is what it's about, winning the league. You're meant to be on a journey.
Yeah.
You're meant to say, "Oh my God, remember when we lost that United game out of the blue? We couldn't beat Liverpool. We didn't beat Forest, and then Liverpool."
Do you know what they should do? I'm serious. People laugh at me. Go for a Chinese, bit of paintballing, and a go-kart.
Nice.
It fixes everything.
It really does.
Am I right? No, usually at clubs. We used to do
12
put a blazer on. Put a club blazer on.
I think that because of this, you know what, Gal? It's a good point
years
you make.
ago, clubs, teams, you let off a bit of steam. Because you go back in the people go, let's get back in the training pitch. No, don't get back in the training pitch. Have it, chill out. People go, we've got loads of games. You can walk around that.
I remember we had a big loss one weekend. I think it might have been against United, and on the Tuesday when we went in, I thought we were just going to get absolutely hammered, and there was an ice cream van just on the training thing. They were like, just reset, just chill out, and we actually had a good week that week.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it is that mental.
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for us.
Did we have at United? You let off a bit of a steam, and lads, you come in the next day. Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it?
I like it for us because it's a seminal moment for us.
And I remember we were on pre-season one time. I tell a quick story. I think Mikel Sylvester. We always end up in an Irish pub, don't you? No matter where you are, you can be on the move. You find an Irish pub. And Mikel said to me, he says, "Right, I remember." He said, "Right, why do we always end up in an Irish pub wherever we are?" I remember looking at him, going, "Just shut up and drink." He thought we would have like a conversation about it.
He wanted to go deep.
He wanted to go deep with me. Shut up, man.
Look. To be honest with you, I'm absolutely startled. I'm looking at your face already. I'm absolutely startled at the turnaround. Remember, we saw obviously a change of manager with Ruben Amorim to go to Darren Fletcher, and there was not much difference in terms of energy and sort of strength. And they went to a back four in those games, by the way. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, from Darren Fletcher to Michael Carrick in that 2 or 3 days, what has happened? I mean, I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it.
Guys, African nations players back, didn't he?
This is not just about Mbermo and Ahmad, because to be fair, Ruben had them for a number of games in the
about from Fletch to...
Oh, Fletch, yeah.
Goalkeeper made some good saves at the start.
Oh,
keeper's safe, and I like him.
Yeah, he did.
Against Arsenal?
Against Arsenal?
Yeah, I thought he made.
You created a chance. The header from the corner.
I just think he looked comfortable.
That's what it is.
He did make great saves.
I tell you what,
it was better.
Fernandes playing, I think we win that game if Fernandes played. Absolutely, he had some presence.
We were sat in here 2 weeks ago. Michael Carrick was just about to go into the City game. None of us could have ever imagined that what we've seen we were going to see. Surely. No one could have ever imagined that.
Nobody would have thought he'd win them first 2 games.
Not the way they've won them as well, though.
Yeah. Dorgu's was brilliant, though, wasn't he? And he's going to be out now for 10 weeks.
How do you... Can
I say something?
If you're Ruben Amorim watching this at home and you're looking at these players, what are you thinking if you're him, like in terms of how has it changed?
You'd be hurt by it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but at the same time, Michael Carrick's got something out of him that's there for that manager to get out of him. Remember, he was very... He was very rigid in what he wanted to do. He's almost to the point where he doesn't even want to listen to anything what's going on.
He's played people in normal positions as well.
Exactly. Look, you know who was good? You know who's good? Martinez at the back. The way he's passing.
Maguire. The way Maguire's come back into it.
See, they were very good. And then you got people in front who I thought, like even Ahmed, I thought Ahmed put in a good shift for you as well. You know, I mean, the way they played.
That's what I'm saying. Michael's got a little bit of luck at the players he's got back. Martinez and Maguire. You think
it does help.
Amarim's last game against Leeds, it was 2 young centre-halves.
And the 2 goals against the second and third goal again, it does help when someone lashes one in.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, the thing is what I loved about,
pulls you out,
even with Cunha's goal, is when, I'm sitting where I was sitting, as soon as he picked it up, you know when you see that uncomfortable space in front of him, you think, that's too much space.
Yeah.
As he got the quality to, bam, and he's done it, and I thought, you know something?
He used to do that at Wolves, didn't he? He's got that in his locker.
He's got that, and you think to yourself, if that's what United are doing with, like, Mbuemo, And who was else up front with him in Buemo at the start? Who started?
Ahmad,
right? With them dropping off, the centre halves not knowing what to do, them just causing all that kind of problem. And then when they pushed up on us, it was like winning a ball back in the rondo.
And Manu took his chance, innit?
Playing Kobe and Fernandes.
And then Bruno can go
Manu
a
and
little
Fernandes,
yeah.
some of their linker play was...
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Arsenal missing.
Yeah, maybe.
Kobe and Fernandes, they make your team play football.
Yeah.
Well, they've just been doing it with
They were
Fernandes,
excellent
central
for the
midfield
second
player.
and third
He
goals.
didn't really have anyone to play with. Now Kobe's also got that ability to play with somebody.
Exactly.
They're all
makes a big
working.
difference.
They're working so hard as well. I think it was the 85th minute. Casemiro
I thought he was
pressed down
as
wide and
well.
then he's sprinting to get back in. I'm like, I don't think they were running like that before.
I mean, look, I think
There's definitely a new energy about the team. For the last year or two, the last few months, people were talking about United out of the Champions League, or not in Europe, out by Grimsby. But we weren't seeing the energy at weekends. We weren't going, do you know, they've had a good week's training this week. But the last week or two, you're looking going, there's definitely an energy about them. And obviously they've added quality to it with their goals. 5 goals all from open play.
Is it helping them not having the midweek games as well? I bet he's never
it looks
had
like it is
7
now.
days
Previously
to
it wasn't.
prepare.
I've had them before, by the way.
No, I know.
That's my point. I've not had them before, but we weren't seeing the benefits of the weekends. We weren't looking at
Roy,
going,
why
this team has no games.
Why the change in energy, attitude, performance levels, everything?
Well, obviously a new voice is coming, so his new staff or whatever.
It's got nice
Training,
energy as well.
nice energy about him, whatever. I think the timing was perfect. The players were probably ready for a new voice. It's not necessarily on the new manager. They're probably just glad to see the last manager go. The training might be a bit more intense. It might be shorter. It'll be all little tweaks to training, a bit like that. Players are back available. We brought Maguire back in. You want about Holland, he's worked with in England. You go, whatever we need, lads. We need some characters in the team. Brings Manu back in. We're talking there about 6-7 weeks. So Manu should leave Man United. You go, no, bide your time. You might get that chance.
Yes.
But when you get the chance,
He
what he
wouldn't
has
have got
done...
that if Eminem was still there, though, he'd probably gone now.
Right.
Yeah.
But what he's done, Gary, with Manu, people like, we obviously in football, you get opportunities, but you got to take it. Man City home, derby game, big game for United. Arsenal are going really well.
Yep.
So you couldn't ask for any more. Absolutely. It's been brilliant.
I must admit, look, I never liked the handling of Manu. I think we talked about that a lot on this show. I never liked the handling of that. When he said at the start of the season, Ruben, that basically it was him or Bruno, I never agreed with that. I thought that was just
bullshit.
It killed him. It killed him, to be fair, publicly. And then he never put him in the team at all, apart from Grimsby.
I think his brother's T-shirt freed him, I think.
I'm back.
It was all down to that.
Well done, the brother.
But when you watch Kobe now in the 2 games, that was nearly pushing a talented player out of the club before he'd even really had a chance to perform. To be fair, you look at him now in these 2 matches and you think,
Ridiculous.
how could that be?
Honestly,
I mean, what I'm saying, how could a guard...
But let's not go too
managers are
far now the other
stubborn.
way. It is only 2 games.
Roy, I get it.
Still,
I get it. It's 2 games, not to get carried away.
but
it
we
does look
know
like
what he's capable of.
But people do
mishandling
get
of-
carried away at United. We saw it after the game. It can be. That's where you need to... It's like when Man United win a game. I know at United can be extreme. They're losing a few. Oh, it's the end of the world. They win a few. Oh, they're back. You got to get that balance right. Even the reaction after the game. Like, we should all be sitting here, ex-United players, going, there has to be a bit of your group. They're going, we expect to go and compete with these teams. Like, even to go down to Arsenal, Liverpool probably should have won there a few weeks ago. Forest drew with them. It's not as if Arsenal are in a great moment. So when Man United win the game afterwards, I wish sometimes even the manager, the players would come out and go, yeah, we're cool with it. There was players going in hugging the... No, there wasn't, never.
There's players hugging
There was
fans.
players going to the... Applauding for 20 minutes. You're going, lad, did you not think you could win a game of football down at Arsenal? It can happen. So I'm just talking about the balance. Enjoy the victory, but don't all of a sudden think they've got the answers to everything. Because the key is, we're just talking about our Arsenal are now, keep going. You've got to be consistent. And this team hasn't shown it yet. We can blame the manager, the tactics, the system. But this group of players still haven't got the trust from me anyway to go, yeah, I expect them to win loads of games over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, competing. So get that balance right, yeah. Nice to see them back, but kick on now. Home game the weekend, different challenge. Teams might be sitting in, blah, blah, blah.
It is nice, but it is nice to see a Manchester United team at least look like something.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think the league needs it. It's just brilliant for everyone. It really is. You want Man United competing at the top. And the type of goals they're scoring. We're talking about the attacking play. United's history, we're kind of criticising Arsenal for their attacking play, but United's history over the years is about attacking players. I remember the George Best. We remember all Giggsy, all these brilliant attacking players, Cantona. For that, we saw the 2 goals after the game. We're pundits watching the match. We're going, oh, what good game this is to watch. Attacking players playing with freedom. And by the way, shooting from outside the box. Yeah. Instead of playing 60, 70 passes, can we open them up? Let's go back out the other side. No. Let's go straight down the middle and go at them. And that's what United's 2 goals were in the second half. Let's go right at them. They got a gift with the first goal, but They took it. They were pressing people at the right time. A good finish. But the second and third goal from United, no matter who you support, were brilliant goals.
Yeah, they were brilliant goals.
Does it say something about, I mean, you're right, when Michael comes in, what can he possibly do in 3 days or 8 days to make that transformation? Does it obviously say something about how unhappy the players were previously?
Of course.
Yeah.
But it goes to show, when you
They
hear...
didn't have a clue what they were doing, did they?
When you hear managers
We were
coming in-
watching system. Sorry, right? We were watching system. What are they trying to do? I don't know what they're doing.
Don't know what they're doing.
And all of a sudden, you play players in the right positions.
The players have looked...
I'm not trying to chew games.
Back. The players have looked
So
a
much
little
happier.
bit... They look like, of course,
I know what
they're
I'm doing.
happier.
Yeah.
bit more
And Michael
freedom,
will
lads
know
in the
that because he's
position.
probably still mates with some of them. So
And
he
he would have been
probably
watching the
knew
games
that
closely, of
they wanted
course.
copy playing or... Do you know
You've
what I
used the
mean?
word here, and again, be careful. They are playing with a little, particularly attacking players, a bit of freedom. And players coming off the
Within a
bench having an
framework.
impact.
But right, this is what I'm saying. You can feel it. Can you feel something different?
Yeah, I do.
So this is what I'm saying. Going back to Arsenal, like, you just need to feel that, like, oh, there's something's happened. Something's like.
What?
But you know what the Arsenal players have to do?
Loosen up.
Right, but you know what the Arsenal players have to do? And there's always question marks when you're in a title race and you're playing in front of 60, 70,000. Courage comes from wanting the ball. And deep down you mightn't want it. Because the fans, we had it United, if we weren't 2-0 up after 10 minutes, the fans would be edgy. But the courage is not like nailing somebody. The courage is going, give me the ball, or a striker showing for it, or somebody getting on the half turn.
That's my point about Odegaard. He can do it in them deeper areas. Yeah, brilliant, great.
You think
You've
when he
got to do it when
up in the
it matters.
Got to hurt teams,
You've got to get it next to the centre half. You've got to receive it there. What David Silva, Phil Foden has said before, they win games of football by doing that. And that kills your centre forward when he's up fucking there.
Yeah.
The centre forward's been brought in to get a bit of help from your number 10. And he's not giving him. And not just your centre forward, your wide players as well.
And we know there's a change in results and performances, but what I've been surprised by with the United is actually it's very difficult to get combinations. It isn't just a team sat behind the ball counter-attacking. So we've seen United over the years go back into a really deep shape, counter-attack with Rashford and Martial at games, beat City away or win games like that. The way in which they're combining through the midfield, the way in which they're actually...
Wavelengths.
Eh?
They're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, and to get that in 3 and 8 days, that's the shock for me in terms of just the actual some of the...
He hasn't done that. The players have done that. That's comes from the players.
That's good players,
the manager
like Paul's saying, in the right positions.
They know what each other
I
wants.
think sometimes it is as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah.
Football in
I
general,
think
not
it
just
is,
with the
yeah.
United situation. And good players like playing... And they know when there's something in the air. And the last few months we're like, there's something... But we've also had to listen to it last year when the manager came in talking about, I need a pre-season with everybody. The good players go, I need 3 or 4 days, we'll be fine. You know, 3 or 4 months to build up a relationship with a footballer. People, when I played with Scorsese, people say, what did you work on? We didn't really work on anything. When he went forward, I sat in. It was just kind of chemistry.
I'm surprised by the combination. I'm surprised by to be fair, not the defensive compactness, because I think that's something that a manager would be able to put into a group of players, but the way in which the fullback and the wide player on each side are working together to try and nullify threats and then spring in from that. The way in which Burmo and Bruno are defending in terms of how they're doing, and then it looks
in the 2 games, are you talking about the week? Because
Steve Holland, you're talking about.
But they conceded. They conceded 2 games against Arsenal. So let's not make out it was a defensive masterclass.
No, the set piece against Arsenal.
But the attacking players turned up.
The set piece against Arsenal, to be fair, a massive threat. They restricted Arsenal in open play to next to nothing and give them very little.
Liverpool did and Forest did as well.
Yeah, but my point is with what we're seeing is that ordinarily you don't tend to see the organisation. They look like a team that have been drilled over a period of months and months and months in their defensive shape and in their attacking shape.
Yeah, but again, they brought 2 centre-halves and they were experienced players. They've played loads and loads of games.
But
surely that counts for
I
something.
get that, but my point is they're not just dropping off to the edge of the box. They're holding a sort of good line, which, to be fair, Maguire and Martins in the past have not held good lines against City. They've dropped a lot
Are they holding
deeper.
good lines?
I think
they are playing quite deep and on the counter-attack more than anything.
They are.
Because they're playing against 2 very
But
good
if you look
teams.
against
It'll
City,
change on Saturday, Sunday.
at City against at Old Trafford, they did, to be fair, they were 20 yards, 30 yards outside the box. That's not always been the case. They were for large periods.
City still had 70% possession or something.
No, they did. My point is, I just feel like there's been a great... Look, the players have taken it on board.
Exactly.
I get that.
Yeah, you give
However,
credit for that 100%.
There's definitely been an organisation defensively and in attack that I think they've picked up very quickly that I'm surprised with.
But Gary,
they're good players. They're good,
shouldn't you just be able to go in any system?
And obviously the communication of the manager, Gary, is very clear.
Well, let me throw this back
At
at
the
you then.
basics.
Those good players have been with the manager for 18 months and he's not been able to get a system into them. They've not picked up
That's on the coach.
Yeah.
So hang on, why have good players not been able to pick it up with him?
Because that's how he's coaching them.
But you said that as well, Gary. You said the best.
But you said good players. You said it's about players. You can't just say it's about.
Yeah, but Gary, we've seen after what you're the one who just said it. 3 days, and we're seeing a difference. You're talking 18 months. He's not been able to give us anything. What was Man United?
So is that not more a system?
No, so I'm saying that you basically, how in 3 days have they got that defensive and attacking organisation? You're saying it's down to good players.
Good players and communication.
Why have those same good players not been able to pick up a system for 18 months?
But is this one more a system that they used to play in?
It wasn't suited to
right, okay.
system.
We all played 3 at the back under Glenn Hoddle with England, right? I used to play 3 at the back with Glenn Hoddle in England, 4-4-2 at United. But under Glenn, we picked up the system pretty quickly in terms of how to play.
Good players.
Oh my God!
I knew.
But Nev, I agree. But it's still only 2 games.
I get that.
United beat Liverpool early in the season.
I get that. I get
and
that.
they found ways. And Maguire. So they have found ways to win games of football before, and they found ways over the last week.
Not playing like that.
No, it's been definitely better to watch. I'm agreeing with you. But let's see over the next few months and the next year or two
how it goes.
So let's not get too carried away with the 2 games.
Carried away.
And I think the attacking play certainly has been excellent. But again, you're on about the way they're set up. They gave up 2 goals at Arsenal.
I think they've defended excellently in the 2 games. By the way,
they gave up 2 goals against Arsenal.
No, it was set pieces. Look,
all right, that doesn't count then. United won the Champions League.
It does count, Roy. But my point is, Arsenal, to be fair, are a freak. Arsenal are a freak from set pieces. They just are. I mean, they are a freak. They are.
Guys, as you mentioned a minute ago, you've got to have players to suit systems. So if you went to England, you say you played 3 at the back, probably suited them. Your players might have done. These players have shown that they haven't fitted into the system.
Anything a system.
Luke Shaw playing left side, he's a left back.
Yeah.
And what's been better the last month or two? Again, a big position at United, the goalkeeper.
Thank you.
Oh, the last year, too. United
Big
goalkeepers.
Calmness, yeah.
The goals they've been giving away, you're thinking, look
How close you lot were to losing Kobe Mainu.
Where are you at on Michael? Let's move around the table. Quite an emotional thing around. Don't you tap away, honestly.
Gary's going to throw something.
Go on, Gal.
So there is a debate that obviously will, to be fair, start to emerge now over Michael Carrick because he's won.
Should he be the next England manager?
And this idea of should Michael Carrick be considered and should he be given the job at the end of the season if this continues? I suppose that's the question.
So I think, like you said, what we've seen after 3 days, because that's what you said. If he could do that in 3 days, Gal, then surely 3 hours, yeah. Then surely, if he carries on for the rest of the season, winning games like that and looking good in the games, then what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Right, let's find someone else. Let's find the next Hammering because he's somewhere else and we've got someone right in our midst and we're not going to give it to him. Give it to him if he's doing this, like Roy said, continually. If it still happens, give it to Michael Carrick. Why not?
I hope they give it to him. I hope they give it to him in the summer.
You said the other day, Roy, that
I don't think it's the right decision. Good luck with it. Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. I've said my piece. I think he's got the job. And if he gets it in the summer, you go, listen, good luck to him. But as a caretaker manager, it's a different animal to being a manager of United trying to win league titles over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it might be. Yeah, I think you can get a better manager than Carrick. Absolutely. Yeah. But I think he's doing a good job. Perfect timing for him. And even if he doesn't get the United job, these results are a bit like Rude and Nottingham. He'll get another job. He'll probably get Premiership manager. But just because he's doing well at United doesn't mean he'll do well at another club. He's got the players back. It's all been sliding doors moments.
Carrick will get better.
And he's took advantage of it.
He'll get better, I think, Roy.
Of course.
If he gets the opportunity at United and he's done this already...
it's a different animal. The structure of the club, scouting...
He'll get better.
His job in the last week or two was to get results at Man United. If you become a manager, you have to start looking at the structure, the scouting.
I think he'll do that.
But
I disagree with it. That's about opinions.
When you asked this, the last podcast, I did say if he does well, gets some top 4, he should get to keep it because we talk about these great managers, but how did they get to be great managers? Alex Ferguson,
he done something at Aberdeen,
first 4 seasons, yeah.
What did he do at Aberdeen, Jill?
13th, 11th, 2nd.
What did he do at Aberdeen?
Yeah,
One
but
European.
still...
What did he do at Aberdeen, I'm asking you?
No, but in the modern game, I'm saying sometimes they don't get a chance to become a great manager. Alex Ferguson would have been gone in this day and age with his first couple of seasons.
The thing I say, how can Michael go up against some of the managers that are around?
I don't see it.
Your Thomas Tuchel's, your Enrique's, Unai Emery, Eddie Howe.
But we have
Michael's,
to see.
Well, yeah. We have to
but
see.
One thing
I mean, when you talk about records, you're thinking about manager of a big club.
Yeah.
Going on to anything. Michael can't compete with that now.
Well,
we talk about what you need, but Arsenal, the one trying to win league title. How many players have won the league title at Arsenal? It's all new experience.
Yeah.
So Michael Carrick's going to be manager of Man United, but he hasn't got enough experience. I don't think he'll have enough football knowledge.
But how do you get experience?
By doing the hard yard so much. He's done it at Middlesbrough. He done it at Middlesbrough. And I'm not saying Michael Carrick can't be a top manager, but you're talking about timing of Man United. I think the timing for Carrick to be manager of Man United in the summer, I don't see it. And if he goes in and proves me wrong and starts competing and winning titles, I'll tell you what, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The character of him, I think that he's somebody he could take the next step to get to that.
Yeah, character-wise, I don't think that's an issue.
Club, Roy,
yeah, it's not an issue.
Of that club,
Do you know what, lads?
the place
Do you know, one of the things that happen with Ollie scares people a little bit.
A little bit. And there's hidden agendas with,
Yeah.
you know, with the media. The media will be going after one character to get a job. A lot of media out there who work for Man United will be saying, and he's English, they wanted Gerrard to do well, they want Rooney to do well, Scott Parker to do well, whoever it might be. So they'll be pushing for Carrick, obviously. But if you asked us 4 or 5 weeks ago, the future manager of Man United, who do we think? Carrick wouldn't have been mentioned.
No.
It was perfect timing for him. Ex-player, blah, 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 he's available. Do it till the end of the season to win.
wouldn't have mentioned him.
You're saying to get in the top 4. Look how bad Liverpool. United are almost... They'll definitely be 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Unless the wheels come off, and it doesn't look like it, because they're playing with energy and a bit of freedom. So doing that job means you should get the manager of Man United.
No, but managers have wanted in the past to have brought
But I
in
could
a
name you hundreds
midfield.
more who haven't. People mention Pep all the time, Zidane. Ferguson was at Aberdeen. He's an experienced manager by then. But you could name hundreds who got big jobs who weren't ready for it. Everyone mentions Pep. Pep is over...
Amarim.
Yeah.
Amarim,
Good shout.
But when we talk about Amarim coming in, we had our doubts about Amarim because he's at Lisbon and he's out of the league. And we sit here and obviously we were having a laugh about Holland and all these boys. And they are experienced people. But we're doing a podcast. We have a bit of fun about it. And I'm not saying these aren't good footballing people. But again, a month or two ago, would you have been mentioning any of these people to come in and get Man United back? Forget top 4 or 5 over the next few years. I'm on about winning titles. That's where Man United have to be. But the next step is they have to get back in the Champions League next year. And if Carrick can do that job, you go, I'd take my hat off to him.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, if he doesn't take the job, some other big manager might come in and go, I'd like you to work to be the head man at Man United. And start
Who
looking...
would you bring in then?
There's better options out there. I think there's better options out there.
Okay.
It could be Tuchel, it could be Enrique. I like Simone, but are they going to get these guys if you're Man United?
Look what Man
Go
United
and try and
done
get the
with Tuchel.
best. Go and get the best.
When look how they messed Tuchel about with, when they interviewing Tuchel. You know what I mean? That in itself, you think, what are you doing?
We played with Michael Carrick for a long time. We're both on this. Why would we say that we wouldn't want Michael to be the manager at the end of the season from a personal perspective? You know this is not personal because, to be fair, we have a lot of time for him, a lot of respect for him, amazing player, teammate of ours. We're not going to turn on Michael Carrick. If we're not, it's not like a... It's not a jealousy point. It's not like right? Michael shouldn't get the job at the end of the season, in my opinion. And I'm saying this really unemotionally, right? It's nothing to do with what 2 weeks ago, where, to be fair, I agree with Roy that no one would have mentioned Michael for the job, right? If you're going to earn your stripes and manage one of the biggest clubs in the world and handle the pressure that's going to be thrown at you, I think you have to have that years of experience personally.
So why did Man United give it to Amarim? And I'm not having that gal. If he goes in now and he's proven that he can do it, this is off the back of this result and can do. What are you talking about? He should get it. He should get the opportunity to see if he can do it. If you're giving it to Amarim,
this is nothing to do with all the decision and why it's gone wrong previously, or giving it to Ryan when Ryan took over for a few games. Right, my honest view is at the end of the season, Manchester United have to remove as many risks as possible from moving forward in terms of appointing a manager.
Right.
If you're Ineos, you can't afford to take risks. Exactly. Now, Michael, to be fair, has had a couple of years at Middlesbrough, done a good job there, and to be fair, he's learning, he's got great composure, he's got all the characteristics to be a fantastic manager, Michael, because he doesn't get too up, he doesn't get too down, he's thoughtful, he's intelligent, he's obviously put good coaches around him with Steve Holland, so I've got brilliant. What Roy just said there, if Thomas Tuchel came in or Enrique came in, right, you think about what Arteta did under Pep at sort of City. Yeah. If, say, Enrique came in, or a Tuchel, or an Ancelotti, and Michael was there for 2 or 3 years, actually just with that person, and then at that point they sort of stepped up to being a man, I'd say that for me feels right. To actually give Michael the job after 4 months of being a manager at Manchester United in a couple of years at Middlesbrough, I do think he's setting him up for failure. I do think it's setting him up.
So that's what they've done with Amarim then?
No, I do think it's setting him up for a hard time. And I'd say this without any emotional whatsoever. And if he gets the job, there will be no one wants him to do better than... Actually, I would want him to absolutely go and win the league. Go and do everything.
My concern is... kind of gamble that you'd have to take.
Yeah, but they've obviously learned from that.
Right, my concern is that we're going to end up watching one of our own again go through some form of what would be crash in the next 18 months.
No, that's the reason you don't want
to... No, I just feel that's where we're going to end up again in the next 18 months, whereby basically he'll lose 5 or 6 on the bounce, the wheels will turn, why did they give it to him? And we've seen it before, this movie, and I just feel like that's where we're going to end up if he actually gets the job, and that's my concern.
Are you scarred by that a little bit, though? What about if he does do great.
That's what I'm
you know
going
what I
on the
mean?
other side.
No,
I think if he follows Tuchel, the pressure would be off a little bit more, wouldn't it? Because he's followed Amorim, who's never really been proven. So if you follow somebody who is proven, he's won everything there is with his clubs, and I think it would be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I just feel unemotional about it in the sense that I just feel like at the end of the season,
You're
Manchester
never
United.
unemotional.
I know, but I'm trying to keep it because Manchester United should get the best in class manager that they can in the world that's available in the summer. And there's 3 or 4 of them coming out of contract out of the World Cup. I do believe that they should go and appoint that manager right now.
Do you trust them to do that, Gary, when they add Tuchel in the building? Do you trust them to do that? Because what's all of a sudden going to change with
Well,
them?
it might not be
What's
just
the-
Tuchel.
Not just Tuchel, there's
It might
other
not be
managers
Tuchel.
there.
It might be Ancelotti. It might be Eddie Howe. It might be Enrique. It might be one of those 4 managers that or even others that are coming available. Nagelsmann, whatever you want to call. So there's 5 or 6 managers that are coming available that Michael could work closely with. I just feel like now we need someone who's won the Champions League, who's been around the block, who can attract players, by the way, into the club. So for me, if Ancelotti, Tuchel come, Manchester United are going to attract, I think, better players than if they can stick with Michael right now.
And that was the big plus of the last 2 results, by the way. We're on about the manager and tactics. United need to be in the Champions League next year, whoever the manager is.
Yeah.
Players will want to play the
attract
Champions
players,
League. So the benefits for Man United is going, we're now hopefully going to finish 4th or 5th and be in the Champions League. And then you've a nice decision to make in the summer. So we sit here every week or every 2 weeks and we talk about football. And
Every
we can sit
week,
here
Roy.
and we get things wrong. So if Carrick gets a job in the summer and he gets a 2 or 3, we'd sit here and go, do you know, listen, all the best to you. And if he does the business, you go, do you know what? Been proven wrong again, because that's what football does to you. You give an opinion on something, and then the following week you go, what was I thinking with that game? We could be watching it.
You think they should try and appoint somebody now?
Well,
Michael's to take that.
Michael's actually, to be fair, the type of person, Scholes, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually came out in a few weeks and said, look, I'm not taking it at the end of the season. He is that type. I think he is that type of person. To be fair to him, he's one that would because it's going to start.
I don't think he will, but he is.
No, it's going to start getting impossible for him in the next few weeks if he carries on winning. Because every question is going to be about are you going to carry on? He could say, look, let me be clear. Let's say March, and he's won 8 games, as an example. And it's becoming unbearable. He could definitely in a press conference say, look, I'm going to hand it over to someone else at the end of the season because that's what was planned and that's what we were going to do. And it wouldn't surprise me if Michael did that. That's
why I'm saying take the speculation away now. So appoint somebody now.
So really, what I'm getting from you, Gary, is that it's someone Michael come in as
because he might not want to
that's
support
what you'd
someone.
prefer for him.
He might not want to support someone. He might want to go away and be a number 1 somewhere and do that as well. That's fine. But my point is,
If it's someone like Ancelotti, and then you got coming next, surely you'd say I'd take that rather than go somewhere else. You want to work under Ancelotti, surely.
It depends what options he'll have. You say that right. Depends what options he'll get in the summer. If he wins games against United Champions League, he will have really good options, maybe better options than being a number 2 at Man United. But that's that's high-class problems for him.
Yes.
But Roy's made a good point in what he said. Michael has only been considered for this job right now because they wanted someone to come in who knew the club, who would understand how to basically manage the reins for 4 or 5 months. If Michael hadn't played for United, you would never consider Michael for the job at Manchester United. It's only because he's played at the club. Michael's not got the job because of his managerial record at Middlesbrough. He's got the job because of his knowledge of United and that Ruud and Ollie had already been in before, a little bit more than him maybe. And Ollie had been in before, and there was a feeling that let's have something fresh. So Michael's got the job because of his basically just being in the right place at the right time. That is not the criteria for being a Manchester United manager.
It's different. Chalk and cheese.
It's not the criteria for it, unfortunately.
How many times have we seen managers going in, whatever, ex-players going and doing a job for a good month or 2, and then they get the job and they're gone a few months later? It's bizarre. It's just
happens all the time.
It's just the nature of football. Whatever it might be, a new voice can lift players for a few months. But if you're on about he's going to be the manager for the next 2, 3, 4 years, look after all the scouting stuff and represent the club and compete with Pep and all these managers.
I think Michael's
I don't think
he's got something.
Yeah.
I think he's got.
I'm not saying he's got nothing,
Yeah,
but to
that's what I'm
be
saying.
manager of Man United.
Yeah, to be and you guys know obviously more than me in respect to manager of Man United. I totally get
Look,
it. But I think that
the right path for Michael might just be at the end of the season when Arsenal don't win the league that he goes there and then comes back to United when. Yeah.
Perfect. Get some experience, yeah.
But now, though, if you're a Man United fan, just enjoy 1 game a week and you're winning. Don't even think about the manager.
I've had that for a while, 1 game a week. Just
Talk about managers. Jamie Carrick said on Monday Night Football the other night, I believe that if Arne Slot wasn't to get in the top 4 or 5, then he felt that basically it would be a different story, which tells you that he feels that Arne Slot's under pressure. Should we ring Cara? Because it's his birthday.
Oh, his
Let's
birthday
sing
as well,
happy
isn't it? Yeah.
birthday.
Should we ring him or
Yeah,
not?
see what he says, yeah.
Is he off for his birthday?
I've already pressed it. So
Gary.
I've not pressed it.
Gary.
What's that?
Is he off for his
I'll
birthday?
imagine if United...
Champions League, wasn't it?
There we go.